It all tastes like chicken.
What is up, my YouTube family? Welcome back. Thanks for watching the channel. I hope everything's going good with you guys. Just got back from a Hot Rod Power Tour and I had a blast. It was probably one of the better tours that I've done for a long time. Three things that made it great were my mom and daughter were with me, which was awesome because it's the first time they've ever done something like that. Hanging with my friends was a big thing that made it work really good. And you guys, I'm just being honest, I was overwhelmed. I'm thankful for you guys because it's just, when you're doing these kind of stuff, you don't know if anybody's even watching you. I don't have a clue. And the comments I was getting or the feedback that I take everything in. I understand how people are wanting certain things, and I get it. It was a good tour. And if you've never done Power Tour, we put on, I think it was like a little over 1,300 miles on the Mirada that was leaving here, going there and coming back. We hit 5 different cities. The route was great. The venues were amazing. Your guys' cars that you guys were building are freaking awesome. Like, I walked and looked at a bunch of them. You guys rock. And you made this trip for my mom and my daughter. If you talk to them, thank you. You know, it was cool. I got a funny feeling we're going to be doing it again because my mom said that she'd be down for it. So we'll go from there. But I learned quite a bit of things about my body. And what I'm saying is, I'm tired, right? Thrashing on a vehicle in your 30s is definitely different than thrashing on your body, thrashing on vehicles with your body in 50. And my goal was to come back, be done with this car, and start thrashing on the van for Des Moines Good Guys. Well, I kind of got to change stuff because I want stuff finished. I want to finish stuff and not have to worry about it. And this car is so close. Now, I did find out that there was an exhaust leak somewhere, and I think it's in the trunk, but it's coming through the package tray. So I need to kind of fix all that because driving down the road, it's awesome, but the longer you drive, you start to smell it. Second, it doesn't have wipers. A lot of you guys don't have wipers. We trust Rain-X. Well, this blower causes this polar vortex or something on the windshield. So basically in the middle of the windshield, because of the aerodynamic, it actually spirals in the middle and it makes the raindrops stick. They don't fly off, they stick. So I need to put wipers on it. I kind of want to figure out this exhaust leak. I kind of want to figure out a way to eliminate the moisture inside the car when your windows are up when it's hot. I mean, my mom and I, we were riding and Kyra was in the back seat, and yeah, we're running through the rain. We drove this thing all during hardcore rain, and of course you get your windows fogging up. So I need to figure all that stuff up. Lift this up maybe about a ½ inch because the skid plate was the MVP on this trip. If we wouldn't have done that, I don't think it ever would have made as much stuff as I hit with that skid plate. Change the shocks maybe. But my goal now is, I got 2.5 weeks. Let's just finish this car. Let's us finish the Mirada so that we can always keep it out and take it out and enjoy and do it. So I'm still going to be working on the van because my new goal for the van, and I already talked to a company and committed to them, is Triple Crown. So we'll work on get it ready for Triple Crown, and let's work on getting this there. But if you ever want to do something in your lifetime, go do Power Tour. You won't be disappointed. So let's get to going on this. The Mirada is up in the air. Okay, since the last thing that I just posted right before here, as far as I had to take a break. I really did. I got back and get this lag after you just run your energy down, and that's where it was. I have to now get back on this thing because we got to take this to Des Moines Good Guys. We're going to drive it there. Hollis is coming up here with his Chevelle. We're going to meet Rob and his son, Jordan, and we're driving up to Des Moines. Power Tour was really good. I've said it before. My mom had a blast. My daughter had a good time. Newbern and I had a great time. I just like hanging out with that dude. He is my best friend. Rob and all these guys, we had a good time. we're just going to continue to make great memories on it. I do have a power tour video getting worked on right now. It'll be out soon-ish, something like that. I don't spend a ton of my weeks working on YouTube. I'm sorry, I just want to bring you along with it. It's not like I'm like, I need to be a YouTuber, nothing that way. I just want to bring you along with these rides. So getting back to this, what's funny is when we set this up and we lift it up, we did it at 25 1/4. Well, because of driving this across country or wherever you want to do the 1,300 miles, it went to 24. So that means its lip, from the lip down to the ground, went to 24 when it was 25 1/4. Torsions. The torsion itself is probably tired in this vehicle from 1980. The difference in weight isn't helping any. It had a small block in it before, and the difference between a small block Mopar and a big block Mopar can be 100 or more pounds. Then you put a supercharger, you put all this stuff on there, so it's definitely taxing on these things. And I need to justify for it. So if I can raise the torsion up, say another inch at this level, then I know when I'm driving down the road, it'll settle and get where I need it to go. I mean, this car was built in the early 90s. Big difference to now to then. When the guy built the car, I'm sure it was great then, but now through the years, it's not even the shell that it was. You know, when a guy put his heart and soul into this car and made it great, it was probably the hottest ticket at that point. But now over the years, this thing's changed so many hands that nobody cared. Nobody cared, you know, and you could tell when you were underneath the car, you could tell in certain things about this car, and it's sad, right? You know, but I'm happy that we were able to give it that breath of life that it needed. You know, it's not the prettiest car. If you walk up, you'll see all the chips, you'll see all the dings, you'll see all of it, but it's a car that, you know, means a lot, you know, especially when you build it with your friends. And we've changed everything on this car. The only thing on this car that is still from, I would say, the 90s, the early 90s, was definitely the paint, the interior, and the front suspension. Because the brakes haven't even been changed. I know that for a fact. I need to change those because there's rivets in the brake pads, which I haven't seen that forever. Everything else has been changed. So it's basically, if you remember the car from the 90s, just remember to paint in the interior and the front end. Because everything else has literally been changed underneath this car. I need to climb underneath, adjust the torsions. We'll get an inch on the torsions. I need to look at the skid plate again. But one thing I also, man, do I ever, you ever ridden in a car and the shock be too soft? That's what this is, because the shock is still set up for a small block. It gives you this bounce, and I need to take more bounce out of the ounce. So I need to figure something out on that end to make it so it's a little bit more firmer. And I believe if I can do that, this thing will ride great, because when you hit a bounce, get ready, because you're bouncing all over the place. So let's start working on the front end, getting that dialed in, and then we can keep going on, because we got to drive this to Des Moines. Okay, so I've been using the torsions a lot, and they're basically like a screw. Okay, so it's your torsion's held like a bolt, screws in, it tightens it, and it lowers it that way. So I'm going to use a little bit of spray on it because I really didn't use it last time, and I do like using the CRC Power Lube. It smells great, but it actually works a little bit better than real like lubricants. I don't know what witchcraft they have in it, but I've been using it and I like it. So I'm going to spray those down, and then we get to cranking. Little lube would do you well. So remember, right side controls left side. Left side controls right side. Got it? Good. Okay, let's see how much that raised that side. So we were at 25 1/4. We want to be at 26 1/4, to be honest with you. We're at 26 right there. So do you understand what I'm doing here? I'm trying to change up the height. So when I had it at 25 1/4 before, it basically dropped down to 24. This was here at 24 when we got back. But I liked it at 25 1/4. because it was like a perfect height. So now I know that the difference, I need to go up 1 more inch. So right now we're at 26 and an eighth. Well, 26, we'll go 26. I'll go do the other side, and then we'll be able to know more then. Because this is going to sell. We know that for a fact. Okay, so we're 26. (26 3/8). Okay, so I don't want to. Let me go up with that one just a little bit more. (26 3/8). Ooh, this thing keeps getting taller, don't it? Okay, I'm gonna go down. Let me see if I can pull this off. On this side. Okay. Here's a perfect example. When I had it, before I bounced it, we were at 26 1/8. And now because I bounced it, we're at 25 3/4. So we were at 25 1/4 before. So I want to go 26 1/8 because that took me down when I was rumpity-bumpity to 24. It's 25 1/4. Let me see what we got here. 25 3/4 there. All right, that basically is even. That's an inch taller than motion was before. I don't know. I'm gonna have to drive it around to see it. Before I didn't have the time, I just set it up and then drove it. So we will see. We will see. So let's get this up in the air now. I mean, take the wheels and tires off of it so we can figure out how to stop the bumpity bump. One thing with this thing being up in the air, I have never ever checked the alignment. And it's actually something you can rough in to get pretty easy. And what I end up doing is I take a piece of 90-degree angle, put it on the other wheel. I make it flat faced on here. And what I'm gonna do is pull a measurement on each side, your front and your back of your tire. That way, I'll be able to know. Now on this tread, I can find a point that I'm gonna measure to on both the front and back. That way I can say the number. So I stretch this across. Come on, love me, slow down. Slow down. Now since there's a 90 over there, a piece of 90 flat against the tire, it'll hook this thread, or this tape measure. And I'm gonna go to this right here, and it shows it 67 3/4 to this edge right here, okay? Go up to here, 67 3/4. Now we're gonna go on the back side of it and do the same thing. This is like you're a trained ninja doing this. Usually it helps with 2 people, but I don't have 2 people. I just want to get this done. No! Stop. No! Slow down. By the power of grace, go. Hooky, hooky. Baby, baby. Okay. It needs a little bit. I gotta just pull the tape. Pull, please. Stay there. Let's try this again over here. It was pretty close to begin with. It's always been close. The ideal way is you never want them straight. You don't want the same measurement front to rear. You want a little bit of toe. You want them to pigeon toe just a little bit, because as you're driving down the road, it will, by the force, will push them straight. Actually, it's pretty close. It's off maybe a 1/16, so it's wider in the back. It could just be tuned just a little bit more, but it's wider in the back. The front pushes when it drives out of road. So I'm going to call the alignment A-OK for now. It isn't chewing up tires, which is a plus. Now, I probably would see more in the alignment issue if the tire was wider. So when your tire is wider, you have more to play with. More tread, more of everything getting messed up as far as like your toe, you get scrub in it and it'll wear different, but this is okay. So I trust that. Now let's get the tires off. Technically this whole front end needs to be rebuilt. I'm not happy with it, but there's certain things that we need to fix. The brakes, we need to address those. We need to address the shocks to stop the bouncy bounce. We've already checked the alignment on it, and we've set the height on the vehicle. So what we'll do is, first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and pull calipers off. I wanna pull the rotors off. And here's the thing, you can actually, sometimes there's enough meat in a rotor that allows you to just turn them, okay? So this is your rotor, and you could take them to machine shops, or you could take them actually to a local parts store. Call and find out, and they'll put it on and true it out, because these got little pits in it and stuff. Even though it stopped pretty good, it'd be nice to stop it really good. So we're gonna go ahead, and I will maybe find what I need. Hold on. Where did it go? Hold on. There it is. Always take, you don't want to stretch out your brake line. You never want to stretch your brake line out. So if you got a zip tie, pull your caliper off, pull the pads off, and just kind of zip tie it to them, something that holds that caliper into the position that you can use it in. We're gonna basically redo this whole front piece. Okay, so pads, these pads don't look too bad, but I haven't seen them with rivets for a long time. Maybe you have, I haven't. Usually they're just glued on. This one looks a little bit, it's probably supposed to be like that, so it's kind of worn. So I got some new pads ordered up. I'll pull the rotor off, and then, yeah, we just keep going. There's that. Rotor's off. I'm gonna pull the other side. But before that, let me explain what's got to happen. This shock is actually new. It's a KYB. It's set up more for the small block, and we've discussed the weight limit that's happening to it. It's actually too soft for what it has to happen. So I contacted QA1, and we do cross-reference. Now, you could get in their book, and they might not make a shock for your vehicle, but you can figure this out. This is not really hard. This is going to have a stud mount here and a stud mount on the bottom. Well, I can use this stud mount on the top and make my mount on the bottom. So when you cross-reference the number, take your shock and find out what the collapse is and the compressed or the extension is. So compress and extension out. That way you can figure out what you need in a shock. And I ended up cross-referencing, and yeah, it comes close to a Mustang 2 shock. So I'll be able to put this into its place here and then mount and make tabs down on the bottom that will hold it. So I might have to do a little trimming on this, or I could change it all out to a different bushing, but I'm gonna have to play with it. But right now, let me continue getting those off, and then when we start putting these on, this is gonna give me the adjustability that I need, because this is a double adjustable shock. That means that I can control compression and rebound, so now I don't have so much float. I can figure this all out here, and then we good. We're getting back to work. I want to get these rotors off. If I can get them sent over there real quick, then I can keep working. They're getting done at the same time, and that saves us. The disadvantage of living in small town USA is I have to drive distance to places. It's home though. I like this little town. It's always been home. It's always good to me, so I'm good. That hometown vibe, baby, hometown vibe. When I take this off, I have to take the bearings out. So you got a front bearing and an outer, like an inner and outer, okay? Here's a trick. If you don't know this already, in the back of here, there's a bearing and a seal. To get it out, it's really easy. Put it back on, put your nut on, and what you're gonna do is you're just gonna let the rotor itself drop, and you're gonna drag it, and you're gonna bump it a couple times. Spin it. Catch it, you're gonna catch it. And it's supposed to catch. There we go. And like that, it pulls out. This one's worn down a little bit, the seal is. So we're gonna replace everything in this thing. Literally, I just wanna finish this one time. And then I could get on the road, and if you wanna see it, we could just figure out places to see it instead of, oh, we need to fix it this way, we need to fix it that way. Get all this stuff cleaned up, get all the bearings repacked, get all the seals redone. Be just like new, just like new. But right now the rotors are off, I'm going to the parts store. Okay, here's the QA1 shock. Everything is out as far as the stock shock, everything's ready to go. So I'm gonna take this QA1 shock and we're gonna put it in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to still use the same location that was factory. Go home. Come on. He was just there. Come on, baby. Get in your hole. There we go. Slide you down. Slide you down. Put this up in here. Up in here. There we go. Put this up in here. Now, what I should be able to do is slide this down. I know that this is my center point. This hole is the center point that's in here. So I'm going to go ahead. Technically, if I set this up like this, I have plenty of clearance all the way around. And then I'll be able to take these tabs. I want to go down so it's close to there. I'll have to trim this area right here. It's a little bit too long. Move this tab in here, take this tab right here, do a little zappy zap, and with it being centered up in here, we're good. So that worked out better than I thought it was going to. But I need to fix these brackets and do a little cutting. So I'll get up here and mark this. You gotta worry about the bracket. Move out of my way. I need to mark how much I'm gonna take off the back here. Okay. So let's get to cutting and get to welding. The mount's cut, but this hole right here is a 7/16 hole. Now they do make different shims that I could put in the back of here that make it a 1/2 inch hole. Now the reason why I bring that up is most tabs are 1/2 inch. This hole is 1/2 inch diameter, which means a 7/16 hole too loose. But there's an easy way to fix it. What I always do is get you some 7/16 washers. Now, this is going to be a load that's not as bad as like a coilover. I wouldn't necessarily do it on a coilover or anything that has a lot of stress, but just because it's being a shock, I will take this washer, put me a 7/16 bolt in there, take another, we're going to just tighten this thing up like this. But you know what we could do? We could double this up so we have double the fun before it's supposed to be. Now, with that being a 7/16 washer in there, that makes it tight. So I'm going to go ahead and weld this washer on, and then we got a 7/16 hole. So next time that you got a 3/4 inch hole or whatever it is, just get a washer to stick it up. You can weld it around there and it fits it perfect. Let's get this turned on. Just like that, got 7/16 bolt fitting in it perfect. After done, easy weld. I've been using the, every time you see me at this station right here, I'm using the Harbor Freight Vulcan 220 Omni Pro, and I really like it. I've been using different kind of welders all the time, but it's been legit. Welds really good. It allows it to be from the 110 to 220. It can be a TIG, but it's a strike arc TIG. Not a big fan of that, but I like this little welding station, and I'm not, for the price point, you can't beat it. If you're a hobbyist in your garage and you are looking, you know, there's been so many different kind of welders that are out. I do have Lincolns, which I've used forever. I've used Millers forever, but for a price point, you can't beat it. You can walk in Harbor Freight and buy it. No, I'm not getting paid to say this. I do like their product. It works out good, but this is what it'll end up looking like on what we have. So I'll get in there. I'm going to weld this to the bottom arms and bolt that in, and we have shocky shocks. Okay, I got it mounted in here. You see how it's going to fit. Now I just need to get in here and do some welding and tack it up in there. I need to get the front end of this back together today, so that's the goal. Shirts came in. So since the shirts came in, after I get done welding this up, getting this all done, I got to start sending shirts out. You guys want them? They came in, and I need to get it done. So let me get to welding and getting this whole front end together. Let's go. Oh, shock's in. I'm gonna put the front end on this side done. I'm gonna wrap it up, and then you guys can see that part, and then I'm just gonna hammer on the other side because I have shirts to do. So if I told you as you're putting your front end together, there's 4 things on that front end that can make your day totally bad, and it really isn't a tie rod end. That could suck, but there's something that we don't really do a lot. Like, look, these right here, you know what these are? These are wheel bearings. Yes, this holds your whole wheel assembly on. If it goes bad and you don't grease them, that's your own fault. You got some problems that happen. So the question to ask yourself is when you're doing maintenance, are you checking these bearings? It's not hard to do, and they make tools that make it so simple and easy. They have a bearing packer. Look at this thing. It's cheap. You can get them on Amazon, you can get them anywhere. And you put the bearing in there, you'll sit there and put grease in it, and it'll actually put the grease inside this bearing that'll put inside your rota, and you ain't got to worry about it. Just PSA, go check your bearings, because you probably haven't. because I know there's times I don't. So I'm gonna get packing on these and then put the front end together and keep doing what we're doing. The front suspension on this passenger side is basically knocked out. I got to do some tightening and, you know, checking all that stuff on that end and put some cotter keys in. Then I'm going to go ahead and start jumping on the other side. But I really need to get your shirts out. So I'll have all this done. And in the next video, you'll see all that because I leave for Des Moines next week. So yeah, if you could, I know it's probably a short video. I don't know how it turned out, but do me a favor, click like, subscribe. Oh, do me a favor. Newbern posted our power tour video and him and I did it together and it's actually pretty awesome. So go to Newbern's channel, 12 Volt Dave, Dave Newbern, whatever it is, go take a look at it. And if you're not subscribed to him, do that. He's close to 100,000 subs. I mean, I remember when he started it and never in his right mind or anything that he would think of that he'd be this good in you know, on number wise. So if you want, go check that out. Go check out the AutoZone deal if you haven't looked at that, because that's a great time. The power tour video is fun, so go take a look at that. Trust me, you're gonna like it. And if you would, click like, subscribe, what you got here, stay motivated with us. So yeah, I'll catch you later.